Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm going to be going over my new Nidus Prime build, taking into consideration his rework. So, his rework is good. It is a good rework, I think, in my opinion. The aspects of him that were tackled are good, but they are not the best aspects to tackle. They didn't really solve some of his issues, which, to be fair, everyone loves to spout that Nidus as a frame is like really bad and super needed a rework and he's awful and blah blah blah. And that is true if you're trying to run the meta slop that people run and you're trying to ham fist every augment mod onto him. If you are trying to put every augment onto this guy, your build's gonna suck. That's pretty much as easy and bare bones as it gets. Because some of these augments literally counteract each other. And I'll get into that. But yeah, I mean, looking at builds online, you see a ton of people that, run every augment. It's like you don't need that. You don't need to run half of these augments. There's actually augments that people aren't running for Nidus that I think are better than the ones that they are running. So, without further ado, we'll just get into the Archon Shards and I'll explain all of that later. So, we're going to be running one Tau Forged Blue for energy max, two Tau Forged Reds for ability strength, one Tau Forged Red for duration, and one Tau Forged Yellow for casting speed. You can absolutely change these Archon Shards. You do not have to run them. I repeat, you do not have to run them. I want to make that very clear. You can put whatever you want here. If you want to put, green shards, anything like that, feel free to do so. I just like the way that this works. So, up to you. Feel free to replace them with whatever you want. For the actual build itself, this is what we're going to be running. Feel free to pause at any point if you need to read what any of these mods do. And yeah. So, getting into the philosophy behind some of these mods, Insatiable is just super nice for actually getting mutation stacks up. Again, this augment is something that I think that they should have just tackled in the rework, where they should have made this augment do something different and they should have just built this into the fourth. I don't know why they didn't. If I were reworking it, I would just do that because that makes Ravenous much, much better than what it actually is now. The only thing that it really does now is heals you, has a duration, has a radius, rupture damage, mutation stack. Cool. It's not anything crazy in my opinion. Also running Parasitic Vitality, this will allow you to get 4% max health per mutation during Parasitic Link. So his default max mutation is 200, which is all you will ever need. It is all you will ever need. If you are running this augment, you are shooting yourself in the foot. So you gain 300 max stacks of mutation, and then the kicker. Undying has a 30-second cooldown. That cooldown makes this augment completely useless, in my opinion. I would never run this augment because it sucks. Low-key, it's kinda awful. I don't think I actually run it on any build. Okay, I run it on this one, sure. And I think the only reason why I ran it on here was because the build performed anyway. Yeah, I don't even run it on that one. So, I hate this augment. Hate is a strong word, but I really dislike this augment because I think it does something really good, and then I think it takes it all back with Undying having a cooldown. Because you want to have, like, the whole point is people, other content creators, everything like that, they go, "Oh my God, you can have 500 stacks. Wow." And then you can pair it with this and you can get 9.1% max HP per mutation, and that's 500 times, and that's like 80,000 health. Woo! That doesn't matter. That doesn't You could have 15,000 health and you're good. You're chilling because you're never taking over 500 damage per second. You are literally running Arcane Persistence and Molt Reconstruct. So you can't take more than 500 damage per second. You're also healing half of that per second innately from Ravenous. And then you are also innately healing a majority of it back because of Molt Reconstruct. So I'm not too sure, like, in my opinion, I don't know why people run Parasitic Vitality and Abundant Mutation together. It makes the build significantly worse, because if you do happen to die, which, to be fair, if you're running both of these augments, Parasitic Vitality and Abundant Mutation, if you do manage to die, you're just bad. That's just a skill issue on your part. But if you do, you have to wait 30 seconds for Undying to even pop again. So, yeah, you have, you know, so much HP. Wow! But in that 30 seconds that you respawn, you now have to Parasitic Link another enemy before you hopefully don't die again in the 30 seconds. And if you're doing stuff in level cap and your health is only 845, like mine is, and you're not running any other health or anything like that, which, by the way, if you are running another health mod on here, let's say you're running Umbral Vitality, which means you can't run Parasitic Vitality, which is another thing that, whatever. Um, you you only have like almost 2 seconds to try to immediately res and immediately find some enemy around you to link to while getting eviscerated before you die again, and then you die for good. So, like, I hate this augment. I think they should have reworked this augment, and they should have reworked this augment's name, because having Parasitic Vitality in its name and not being able to run any other Vitality mod sucks. That super sucks. That is what needed a rework, not everything else that they did. Granted. Or anyone, hates me in the comments, what they changed was good. I am not saying that at all. Everything they changed about Nidus is great. Beautiful. It's perfect. But there are so many other things that needed to be touched about his kit that they just simply didn't, especially the augments. That being said, I think this build is extremely consistent, and you will see it in the gameplay where you can build up stacks extremely fast, you can sit there comfortably, and you can get your health back whenever you want. With all that being said, let's get into the gameplay.